What's up, guys? Marvelous Mark here, and I'm here to bring you my review for King Arthur Legend of the Sword. I just got back from watching it. The movie was okay. I expected a lot from it, and it really let me down. My expectations were really high for this movie, and it just totally let me down in probably not every way, but in a couple of ways. But let's first start off. The movie, it had magic. That was up for me because I always liked King Arthur. The story behind it. It was Merlin. There was magic. As soon as the movie opens, we get to see these giant freaking elephants controlled by I'm assuming is Merlin, which was like in a pyramid type little house on top of the elephants, controlling them. And the elephants were so huge, and they were just crushing and destroying the castle. And Arthur's dad, he went inside there and killed Merlin. And then after Merlin died, the horses transformed back to their normal state, and everything was brought back to normal and all that. But also, Jude Law, he was the brother of Arthur's father, and he betrayed him and took over the kingdom. He killed the father. It was cool too because Jude Law had his like a demon type character that he could turn into, and he was just he a skull face with a big old scythe as a weapon, and he killed the father. And then Arthur, which was played by Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. I'm sure you all know him from there. Uh, he witnessed his father die by the hands of this demon, but he didn't know who this person was until later in the movie. He finds out who exactly it was, and he gets his revenge. Also, Charlie Hunnam, he did okay in this role. I'm not gonna say he did amazing in this. He had trouble with the accent he was trying to do for this medieval time period. It was a little off because I could tell that he was trying to do the accent, but then it would switch back to his normal, like his gangster voice that we all know from Sons of Anarchy and basically every other movie or even other show that he's been in. It sounds the same. Uh, I'm not gonna tear him apart on that. But other than that, his performance for Arthur, like when he had emotion, he showed the pain, he showed the sadness that he had to portray for King Arthur, and he did it right. So, other than the accent, I thought Charlie Hunnam did pretty good in this movie. Like I said, Jude Law, he did really good. I think he was probably the most standout character in this movie. He he's that villain character that you hate, and he made you hate him. But other than that, there was David Beckham, the ex soccer player, was in there too. He had a little cameo with Charlie Hunnam at the beginning when Charlie Hunnam pulled out the sword, and he was just there for a brief moment. And after that, he was just gone. He even, to me, he had trouble doing an accent too. It just sounded weird. It didn't sound right coming from David Beckham. It was just awkward. Um, who else? There was two characters from Game of Thrones. It was Ramsay Bolton's father. I can't remember his name, and Littlefinger. Littlefinger. He's one of the Knights of the Round Table. He's one of them too. I think he's William. Is he William? I think Sir William. Uh, it was cool to see that too. At the end of the movie, we get to see the Knights of the Round Table. Everyone who was involved in the war against Jude Law's character. And that was to me, that was my favorite part of the movie, is the ending part when we get to actually see the table, and we get to see all the knights of the round table. We get to see all of them. It's very diverse too, because I don't remember in the comics or like any of the stories told back then, even in the movies before that, there were any like diversity between any of the characters. There was Asian, there was African American, Caucasian. There was many of those. It was very diverse, and I like that too. So it's very different from source material or just gaming or just regular movie type stuff. The action in this was really good. I think that was the best part of this movie. It was very well choreographed, and also seeing when Charlie Hunnam, King Arthur, he was carrying the sword. You get to see the magic coming from the sword. So I thought that was a nice addition to Excalibur. It was really different. It was really cool. So I like that we got to see that. The bad thing, like I said, one of the negatives were the accents. I didn't like the accents. The dialogue was a little weird on some with some people at least. To me, no one in this movie had very good chemistry. It was really no one. The story, to me, the scenes of this movie, there were like scenes that should have like scenes that were taken out of the movie that should have been before or after a certain scene. So it kind of messed up the flow. The pacing was off. It was a little off, and uh, if if that if they would have fixed that, the movie would have been fine. Because just like I said, the other part was just the accents. The accents was one of the main things that they totally missed. Besides like Jude Law, you know, him and Littlefinger and a couple other characters, their accents were spot on. But there was a lot of characters in this movie that were their accents were just off, and it threw me off in the movie and the feel of the movie. But I like medieval time period type pieces, and this was kind of off. You know, they made a King Arthur movie back in 2004. That's still my favorite one. Besides this one, this will come in a second because like the magic and stuff like that. But the one in 2004 is still my favorite. So other than that, guys, yeah, that's my review for King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. There's gonna be a icon right here, so make sure you click that to subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button and come back and check back for more.